Choral Insight, stories of choirs. Testimonies of choir directors. Good choir music to enjoy. Choral Insight with Dominic Ansa-Asare. Choral Insight is powered by Mido Productions.
Mido Productions, sound, audio, and video.
Hello out there, welcome to yet another edition of Choral Insight with Dominic Ansa-Asare. Today, I bring a choir that is unique in many aspects. They are young, yet they are different. What do I mean? I don't want to bore you with an introduction. Just hold on. When we come right back, I'll roll the story for you. Don't go anywhere. I shall be right back. Getting quality sound in your church is not always about spending. It is about understanding what the equipment that you have purchased can produce for you. As I move across the country and beyond, I've realized that many churches have invested heavily in equipment, yet they are not getting the output that they desire. My name is Dominic Ansa-Asare, and I am the Chief Executive of Mido Productions, and I'm also the Principal for Music Solutions School. I'm organizing my first sound management masterclass, and I invite your technicians and all technicians watching me to attend this masterclass.
Date 9th and 10th December 2019. Venue MSS opposite Fountainhead School, Sakumono Estate. Fee 300 per head for 2 days. This covers certificates, learning materials, and food. Terms and conditions apply. To register, send your details to smmc.mss1@gmail.com. You can make payment by cash or through MSS bank details. For further information, call 0303 400 435 or 0242 548 796.
See you on the 9th and 10th of December. Welcome back. Today I'm beautifully dressed by Kweku Outlook in Kumasi. And Kweku Outlook does very beautiful clothing for individuals, for executives, for ensembles, for choirs, And so if you have the need to sew something for your group, I recommend Kweku Outlook to you. Today is the turn for His Praise Chorale. And today, His Praise Chorale is represented by an assistant music director by name Nathaniel Akom. Did I get your name right?
Yes, you
Nathaniel,
did.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Dominic.
Right. His Praise Chorale has, begun choral work for just about 2 years. So one will ask, there are choirs, there are better choirs. Well, the criteria is not to bring better choirs, but a choir that I think that they have a story to tell. And particularly if there is a relationship also with Mido Productions. And so His Praise Chorale qualifies in every aspect of what we are doing. And that's why Nathaniel is here. Nathaniel, you're welcome once again.
Thank you very much, Dominic.
So why His Praise Chorale of all names?
Yeah. So His Praise Chorale draws inspiration from 1 Peter chapter 2, verse number 9, that we have to go out there to proclaim the name of He who called us out of, darkness, where we were lost out, and then brought us into His marvelous light, which is Christ. So whatever we do, we need to proclaim the praise of Jesus Christ, who at the end will present us to His Father, which is God. So whatever we do, in our actions, in our ways, we need to proclaim the word of God to the people out there so that they can also see the light. So basically,
whatever we do, we need to proclaim the praise of our Maker.
Sure.
That is from Nathaniel. I want to ask you, so you do a cappella?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, we do.
Why a cappella?
Basically, music is very, very essential when it comes to praising God, because when we go to church, all the other things that we do is for our own benefit. It's only songs that we give to God and also we give to our fellow man. So the Bible admonished us that we should speak to one another in psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs, whilst we make melody in our heart. So we think that when we sing without any instrument, people get the meaning, the understanding very well,
get the meaning
and
well.
they relate with these songs
to the
very
words.
Well. Sure. Okay. So basically, we concentrate more on the words that are supposed to admonish the people and also to praise God.
I'll come back to that. I have a few questions, on that angle. But as I follow His Praise Chorale, one thing is that, this is not a cappella where voices will be doing drums or guitar. This is a cappella where they are respecting the principles of choral music and doing the regular soprano, alto, tenor, bass. So I'll ask you, Nathan, who are the directors of? I know that you are an assistant director.
Yes.
That means that there is some oboe somewhere.
Sure. So one unique thing about His Praise Chorale is that we have 3 people constituting the directorate.
Wow.
Aside the executives that we have. So His Praise Chorale was born out of a vision, or let me say a dream, by Joel Mensa. So he came up with that idea and then had behind him Linda Gorase and then myself, Nathaniel Akom, coming together to assist in coming up with His Praise Chorale.
And that's how very few choir directors will allow their assistants to represent them for an interview. But you're saying that your situation is a unique one.
Sure.
The first time I got an invitation, if I say I mean Mido, to work for His Praise Chorale, I got the understanding, in fact, it is the case, that you were going to stage your program in the night.
Sure.
I wouldn't say in the evening. And I went like, wow. We know of all-night programs and we're going to pray. And why stage a program, do it all night, start from about 10 o'clock thereabout, and close almost at dawn? And where from this concept? And who will really be awake to listen?
So I think that's really a question that people are asking.
Right.
And so the first program was that the Lord's Supper. When you hear supper, supper is something that is served, in the evening.
Not in the night.
No, yeah, sure. So we thought, why don't we bring music lovers together,
right,
and experience how songs are being rendered over the night. Bear in mind, Paul and Silas, when they were in prison, they sang throughout the night.
Right.
And then the walls of the prison,
the prisons,
were all shaking.
Right.
And then the doors got open.
The chains fell off.
The chains fell. And the people around were listening with joy. And they were following these songs in their heart. So we wanted to do something unique. Now, out of the blue.
Follow a biblical, example, as it were.
Yes. And also, at night, a lot of things happen. Both good and bad. So we why don't we change the lives of people during the night into an encounter that, which would be very, very memorable.
What a reason to have to stage a concert through the night. But on that fateful day, at the Lord's Supper concert, we recorded this song, Jata Brewer, and I share with you. Let's enjoy.
Running
Osei Boateng's Jata Brewer is famous, and it's just because it has, powerful words and harmony, behind the song. And let me ask you, after this, then you came up again with, to me, yet another crazy idea.
Yep.
You say you're going to do a hymns recording, and you will put 60 hymns, into one album.
Yes.
I tried to talk you into, reasoning to say, why 60? Why don't you even serialize it? Volume 1, Volume 2. But you will not budge. Why do 60 songs into one album? Not just songs, hymns.
Hymns, yes. Yes. So, Dominic, the edge, our patrons wanted more of us. They wanted to feel His Praise Chorale. So we thought that, then why don't we come up with something that, His Praise always want to, not we wanting to do things people have not done before, but the passion that drives His Praise Chorale is something that, members can really attest to. So we really wanted to give to our patrons,
Your patrons.
What they really wanted, what they were really yearning for. And we wanted to also do it in our local dialect. If you could recollect, it was dubbed Christo Asare. So most of the hymns that were written by people, we have a book that is.
Is that your hymnal?
Yeah, the hymnal we use. Most churches of Christ uses the search book. So we wanted to chew all the songs in that book. So it's a project that we are running actually. This year, we targeted doing 60, and then that was how come Mido came into the picture.
Right.
And we have to do the 60.
And how has been the response to the project?
In fact, it's been so great. As we speak, a lot of people are calling all over the country for pen drives, for CDs. Wow. Now it's on Spotify, it's on iTunes.
Wow.
Yes, people are downloading it here and there. So I must say it's been a very wonderful journey with Christo Asare coming into the picture.
I see. What is the structure? You seem to have something unique. If you've got to communicate with His Praise Chorale, it has to be through an email, blah, blah. How is the structure of His Praise Chorale like?
One thing that we, His Praise Chorale, believe in is that when you are able to communicate to those around you, being it your patrons, your service providers, very well, that is when you get the feedback that you need, and that is also going to help you in doing things that are right. So, yes, His Praise has put in quotes, a little robust structure in place to make sure that we relate with our patrons and our service providers and even the members in there. Can you believe if a member wants to absent him or herself, you have to write or call your part leader. Your part leader will have to inform the assistant director in charge, either male or female. Then the directorate will now get to know. If you are going to school, if something will be keeping you away, you have to write an official letter so that we can put it on record. So some of these things we have adopted is really, I must say, helping us to move as a choir.
I can only give a laugh because I don't think that it is everywhere that you can insist that if somebody is going to be absent, you should write an email or write a letter. You are blessed, to have had that, in your midst. Let us enjoy one of the 60 hymns. I hope you like it. Well, I know that sometimes some choirs also, apart from the singing, they will embark on other projects.
Yes.
Do we have His Praise Chorale, doing anything that's either charity, that's supporting, a particular project or something like that?
Yeah, I think that is a very good question. His Praise Chorale, as you rightly said, is 2 years. We've seen the need to come up with a strategic plan that is going to touch on all the aspects that our vision and our mission statement, stipulate. So we've had a program where we brought the elderly together to inspire them, to let them share their story, something to motivate them. So when they were youth, what were some of the things that they used to do? What were some of the things that were pushing them? So we learned from them. They also learned from us.
Right.
So that was one thing we did somewhere 2018. Next year going, we have a lot of projects, as I already said. These are going to be part of our strategic plan, and then the activities that we are going to do will come up with this. We are thinking of visiting the prison, visiting the sick. At a point in time, we want to visit, let's say, Kolebu.
Okay.
Be singing throughout, and we believe that some of these things will try and encourage some of these people who are brokenhearted, because Christ admonishes us to follow His path,
Right.
just as Paul rightly said. So we should follow Him as He followed Christ. So whatever He did, if Christ was able to feed those who were hungry, if Christ were able to clothe those who were not having clothes, if Christ was able to visit the prison, how
He
much
will
more
also be
we?
able
So we have all these activities.
It's just 2 years.
Yep.
If you look at the road for this last 2 years, what would you say has been your impact?
It's been wonderful. There was a point where, aside the singing, we sometimes visit some of our churches to encourage them in form of singing.
Right.
There was a point where, after church, a woman from nowhere came to hug our director, saying that she just leave a house nearby the church. She wasn't feeling well. She was totally down. But when this woman heard us sing, she doesn't know what came over her. She just stood up,
Wow.
wore the attire, and then came to church.
Wow.
So this, together with the feedback we've been getting after our programs, the comments that we see, on YouTube and Facebook and all our other channels, some of the calls we get from people who sometimes share tears when they call us. Sometimes it's been God.
It shows that there is a reward
Yes.
to the efforts
Yes.
that you are putting
Yes.
in. You don't reinvent the wheel. Sometimes you just join the circle at a point in time. I don't see you honoring programs. Is this assertion true?
His praise always on our programs.
Really? It's not like you are in your corner.
No.
And if it is your program, you do it. But when others... Are there any choirs that you look up to? Yeah, just 2
sure.
years. There are other... do you draw inspiration, from...
We do. It's a lot. As we are growing, we need to learn. And we learn from people who have done it before, who have done it best. So, Harmonious Chorale, we look up to them because, we can see over the last 10 years, they've been making the waves. Gone are the days where you used to only hear of Winneba Youth Choir. We look up to a lot of choirs who are Gramophone, the One Boys, and all that. These are all choirs that...
They are your seniors.
They are. So we are just learning from. But the fact is, we learn from them. Then we also look at how best we can be able to drive towards our vision and then our mission.
I never see you use, let's say, the keyboard or something like that.
Sure.
But I've seen you use the pitch pipe.
Yeah.
That's an instrument.
So rightly, as you said, the pitch pipe gives, the keys to the song that we are going to sing.
But the piano does same.
So basically, the piano runs through the songs. You get it. But pitch pipe is only given giving the pitch of the song.
So it means if you go for a program and you don't have your pitch pipe, somebody gives you the pitch with the keyboard, you're fine.
Yes, we are fine. So far as
it's not fine.
No, I'm saying we are fine because so far as there's no accompaniment to the song we are singing.
Yes, just the pitch.
We are fine.
Just the pitch. There's a lot that His Praise Chorale has done, and at one of their projects, Gracias a Dios, they sang in Kunimde. And I think that would be a perfect way, to wind up this discussion, that whatever they are doing is in actual fact to get the glory to God. Let's enjoy in Kunimde. And as you listen to this song, I think that the faith that His Praise Chorale has been able to achieve in 2 years is worth telling. Never think that you want to wait until you're 5 years or 10 years before you celebrate the goodness of your Lord. They are brightening and shining every corner, any opportunity that they get. And I want to believe that the next time that you tune in again to Choral Insight with Dominic Ansa-Asare, we'll have yet another story about a choir that is unique, just like His Praise Chorale, and you will enjoy. Until I see you again, it's been bye from Choral Insight. And Nathan, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dominic.
Choral Insight, stories of choirs, testimonies of choir directors, good choir music to enjoy. Choral Insight with Dominic Ansa-Asare. Choral Insight is powered by Mido Productions.
Mido Productions, sound, audio, and video.